With soccer, they have almost like bands there with like huge drum lines and like everyone's chanting, and we wanted to do something like that because that's what's enjoyable about watching soccer. If you go into Europe, every single town has their own soccer team, whether they're, you know, one of the biggest in the world or they're that team that's down in the 6th tier league and everybody's like showing up after work for practice. Like everybody's got a stadium they can go to and they can cheer on their local team, and this is just our neighborhood team.
To me, it's not right if it's not loud, you know? In 2016, they gave out vuvuzelas if you bought like a season ticket. So we started standing on the far side. It kind of developed from there. We bought drumsticks and playing on top of a trash can, and then that's how the drums started going, and it just got louder and louder and louder. And then it was like, well, we gotta keep this up. We can't stop now. Well, originally our name was the Gravediggers, because we were like, you know, it was something about like, I don't know, we dig their graves, like they lose, we dig the grave, I don't know, and
I mean, being right next to
yeah,
the graveyard as
you know,
well.
right
like,
next
we
to
wanted
the
something
graveyard.
inspired by
yeah,
that.
something. I always had heard the name, the Graveyard, as like a nickname for the stadium, and was just like, well, that sounds way cooler. You know, no offense to Eugene Stone, but I like the name Graveyard better. The Graveyard. The marketing department did not like Gravediggers.
No,
they
not
were
at all.
like, we can't do that. It sounds way too menacing.
Graveyard shift was what was thrown around, and we felt it was a good idea because, I mean, we work in kitchens, you know, we're very much like labor focused as far as what we do, and it kind of gives a little nod to that.
I never really, when we first started out, I figured we were just gonna be those just kooky fans, you know, never really thought that they would really get behind us and back us. As far as like the flags and the setup, those flags represent international players that have come in, players that have dual citizenship that can represent other countries. And as they come in and leave, we kind of transfer those flags out. And I think that the idea behind that is to like let them know that like we understand where they're from and like welcome. We're welcoming them to the South Carolina, and I think they feel, I would feel good if I was across the world and they're cheering for me in my country. That'd make me feel good, you know. It's honestly, it's hard to sit there and play drums for 90 minutes and yell and scream, and a lot of times, I mean, these games, it's 100 degrees outside and we're sitting there sweating. It's tough, but it's worth it. It's a lot of fun. It's a chance for one to see live soccer and to go out and get some, you know, therapeutic aggression, you know, banging on some drums. And sometimes after a stressful week at work, that's all you really want to do is just go make some noise. But also, you know, it's really, the Graveyard Shift has become a way to really promote women's soccer as, you know, a real viable sport. You know, when we started, the U.S. had just won the World Cup in 2015. I think that kind of played a part into why we decided to really go full force with the women's program. So it's like, hey, you know, like women's soccer is like growing. Like let's be a part of this change, you know, and it's, you gotta, if you want to see a change, go out and be the change.
For me, like, it's something positive that we can do. Having fans there cheering for a sport, no matter how small it is it's only gonna make it grow. We have, you know, people who have come to us and like thanked us for being here, players who have come here because they love, not only everything about the program, the coaches and everybody, but they love the environment for the games. And any sort of positive impact we have on this team is awesome, and that's what we're trying to do.
People always ask, how do I join Graveyard Shift? And it's like, there is no joining.
Just come to this side.
Walk on over and say hello, and
you're there.
And that's it. And you're in.